good. Good. I'm glad we're happy. Welcome then, friends. I hope you're happy too. How do I normally start these things? Who knows? We're Tanked Up. We're a podcast about video games and beer. I'm one of your hosts, Ben. I'm here with Lucy.
We still haven't learned how to do this after how many episodes?
Oh, that's a good
Yeah.
question.
Exactly.
434?
Yeah, 434. And that was a deal.
Yeah, it's me, 434 man. That's what they
The
call
keeper
me,
of
Captain
numbers.
434. Also, get my notebook out.
Good. You're only a baker's dozen off something slightly more interesting. Cool. Let's open some beers and do some stuff and talk about some games, shall we? Lucy, why don't you kick us off this week?
I will do, because I've actually been looking forward to trying this beer out. It's an alcohol-free beer, because I
Okay.
have so many left from the giddy days of January. I need to start
Oh, we're almost
tucking
at the
into
end of
some of them all.
March, Lucy.
I know, I just haven't been drinking any beer, really. I don't know.
Well,
It's life.
sobriety's cool with them Gen Zers, so it's really just the march of progress.
That makes me want to just down a bottle of vodka right now, you saying that. So do not ever align me with those cool kids who look after themselves.
I'm sorry, Lucy, I hate to tell you, but you just have too much Riz.
That is so disgusting coming from a 40-year-old man, but we'll just
Skibbity
I
something
mean,
something. That's all I got.
yeah. I still Riz means style, yeah?
It's
Charisma.
charisma, yeah.
Oh, okay. Which means style.
Nah,
I've got
you can
friends
have
and
style with
I'm
no Riz.
radical.
Haven't you ever been like out and about when you were, young and you saw someone and you're like, man, they've got it going on, and you start talking to them and you're like, I dislike you. You are no longer attractive.
What do you mean when I was young? I still am young.
When you
Okay.
were younger.
Okay, that's better. I'll accept that. Anyway, my
What are you
beer is
drinking?
from Beak. Yeah. It's called well, I guess it's called, is it Flowers? Is it Flowers? It's just Flwrs. So
Oh,
fill in the blanks. I'm
Flwrs.
going for Flowers. Yeah. Okay, it's got some flavor text. We're on a mission to make the world's best premium alcohol-free NEIPA. Our first alcohol-free beer, our first AF release was brewed in collaboration with We Can Be Friends, and it's saturated in Citra. I wish it was a saturated in Citra Daya beer, but anyway. And it's saturated in Citra, Idaho 7, Motueka, and Mosaic. Hazy, juicy, and hangover-free with flavors of apricot, lemon, lime, and lime mojitos. Yeah, 0.5%. Yeah, good old Beak beer. So I was like, you know what? They make very good beers. Hopefully, they make very good
Yeah.
alcohol-free beers too. So
Nice. Good. Good. Aadil, why don't you tell us about your beer?
I've got a Faith and Futures Northern Monk Tank Petrol IPA, 6.5%. Lovely, lovely art.
Nice.
Unfortunately, the art is looking less good because of the stupid light. But you can actually see how great it is, though. Really good detail. That's what we want in our beers. We're putting Faith in Futures. Find out more at faithinfutures.com. I did not go there. Drink beer, help others. Oh, there we go. Each can sold with this beer includes a donation to our Faith in Futures Foundations. Was set up with £5,000 passed down by a grandparent inspired by this generous donation that allowed our dreams to come true. Faith in Futures provides £5,000 grants to charities, volunteer groups, and community projects. We're aiming to donate £150,000 to community causes by the end of 2025, putting them leaps and bounds above the Labour government. Faith in Futures releases feature designs by some of our favorite artists we've worked on. This one is by Tank Petrol. And yeah, it's that's all the flavor text. We have water, malted barley, wheat, oats, hops, and yeast in our what was this thing again? Just an IPA, 6.5%.
Okay, cool. I mean, they've done a lot of Tank Petrol sort of Faith and Futures beers, haven't they? By this point. There must be 10, 12
Yeah.
different versions of that kind of collaboration.
Oh yeah. I should
yeah.
note that this is a purchase from Tesco,
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
which is
Right.
kind of why I picked it up. I'm
Interesting.
like, oh, special Northern Monk charity,
Mhm.
Tesco. That sounds like the right balance of capitalism.
Nice, nice. My beer is from Lost and Grounded. Lovely little Bristol brewery. Because they're now available round the corner from me
Oh,
in the
nice.
shop. And for the absolutely ridiculous price of 2 for £5.
What?
So I brought 4. I drank 3 last night. I
Yeah.
saved this one for this evening because I don't know if I've had this beer. It is called Extra Nice. It is an extra dry lager. It's only a little baby at 4%, but it has a little bit of flavor text to explain. You can see supporting Stonewall housing just as a tiny little label on there as well. But the flavor text is Extra Nice is a light, crisp, and clean lager using a portion of rice in the grist to soften the palate. Working closely with the amazing Bleecker Burger crew, we have made Extra Nice a lager with purpose. 5 pence from every can will be supporting Stonewall housing. So even with it being like I don't know how much their beers are, £3, £3.50, if not slightly more, if you buy an individual can. They obviously a deal on, but for buying multiples, it kind of falls in line roughly. I think you can buy around the corner as well. You get like 3 arbors for 10.50 or something like that, as well, which is pretty standard kind of across
Mm.
Bristol. If not, I don't know whether it is the same in other cities and other places. But yeah, kind of falls in line with that. 4 of these, roughly the same as 3 pints, if not slightly more, in terms of actual
Yeah.
beer.
Hmm.
Is it 440 ml can? Yeah.
This is a 440. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's good value.
Yeah.
Maybe they see the rent costs and house prices in Bristol and they're like, well, can't afford anything else. We got to make sure the beer's affordable.
Absolutely. And
Mm.
Lost and Grounded are very, very, very good at lagers. Make a huge variety of different lagers. There's Hellers. There's, I think they do an IPL, an India Pale Lager.
Hmm.
They
Mhm.
tend to stick on the lighter end of beers, but I did pick up one of their red ales last week as well, which is it's a great beer. So yeah, I thought I'd enjoy this evening. But roll all the way back round to you, Lucy, for your initial thoughts on the alcohol-free Beak.
Yeah, I'm potentially going to be very angry with this
Mhm.
beer
Oh
because it
no!
smells delightful.
Oh good.
It smells like, a full-on bouquet of Daya or Beak or
Oh.
something like that, like
Mm.
like a NEIPA, like just
Mm-hmm.
very leaning into like the
Flavorful.
tropical fruits, flavorful, like
Good.
getting notes of like tropical fruits, like mango, guava,
Yep.
lychee, just getting it
Wow.
all, and I think it's the best alcohol-free beer I've smelled. It smells like a full-bodied big boy
Nice.
NEIPA. Ooh, that's actually pretty good because I think what it retains that is evoked in like the aroma is the body of it.
Hmm.
It doesn't have that thinness, that thin quality that a lot of alcohol-free beers have. Um, yeah, that's got some decent body to it. Um,
Good.
Great.
flavor-wise, it does carry over some of those tropical notes. Obviously, not to the quite bold extent that it is on the nose, but you are getting like notes of like mango, and I'm wondering if this has like I doubt this has any lactose in it, but
I was wondering if they had oats.
it's got oats. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's got oats in it because it's definitely giving that like creamy taste to it. But it has like kind of a maybe that's just like that very distinctive sweetness that you sometimes get with alcohol-free beers. Why I like thought it might have lactose in it, a bit of like a
Mm.
kind of artificial, almost kind of like sweetness in it. It's not too overpowering in this. It's just slightly there on the back of the palate, so you can notice it. Um, but it doesn't have that like very tinny metallic kind of taste that some alcohol-free beers have.
Good.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, it. Let me go in for another swig. Yeah, that's really good. That's really good. Like getting like hints of lemon. It's not. I think. Hmm. Yeah, that's pretty impressive. Just the way it's getting all those, very bold fruit flavors across,
Mm.
and it's not really carbonated at all. Um,
Okay.
so it's just like that's not a bad thing, by the way. It just there's nothing cutting through like that. I don't even know if it's perceived sense. I think it does have a decent amount of body to it. So I think the fact that there's no carbonation like cutting through it makes that body a bit more prominent, and it's just it feels more. It's doing the things that you want a NEIPA to do. Have that very fruit forward kind of taste to it. There's not a lot of bitterness at all, but I'd rather have it have like just the sweetness and not really any bitterness than having that kind of like
Mm.
metallic weird taste that some alcohol-free beers have at the end. This doesn't have that. It's a much more rounded finish, but I would like some bitterness to it. But I
Mm.
think with the style of it, I mean, it says IPA on the front, but in the flavor text, they have stated it's a NEIPA, so it's
Sure.
like a bit more forgivable. Not to have the bitterness in this than say if it was, I don't know, a West Coast IPA or just a regular IPA. So
Hmm.
yeah, I think it's good. It's very good. It's one of the best that I've had this year for sure.
Good.
Um, yeah, I'd say this ranks up with like the Wiper and Chew
Oh wow.
alcohol-free beers.
Huh.
Maybe even better. So as I say, maybe my palate's a bit off because I haven't. Well, I had a beer on Sunday,
Hmm.
Leviathan, but even that was like 3.4%. So
Okay.
um, but yeah, very good, very good. Really enjoyed
Amazing.
this.
Good. I mean, it's always good when you have a good beer, but I think it's just that little bit better when you have a good alcohol-free
Oh
beer
yeah.
as
Yeah,
well, because they're so not sparse necessarily in terms of what you get, but the quality is always down here. So when you hit
yeah.
something that's up, and even just the note of it not having any tinny metallic sort
Hmm.
of taste to it is a big tick for me with an
Yeah.
alcohol-free beer.
Yeah, yeah. It's got more of an artificial sweetness to it. There is something there. You can still taste that,
Mm.
but I think in everything else, the areas are less lacking, and I'm less wanting
Okay.
of a full-bodied alcoholic beer. This
Mm.
this this compensates a lot better than most other alcohol-free
That's
beers
great.
and things like. I think its body is like the biggest one for like
Hmm.
most alcohol-free beers, where it's just like
Yes.
that is the biggest thing that is usually lacking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas this has that, and that's like key. Yeah,
Good.
it's
Grand.
good. I
Good.
mean, Beak are fantastic anyway, so
Mm.
I'm glad I saved it because yeah, it's probably the best that I've had so far this year.
Nice. That's really good.
Hmm.
Adele, what comes
Yeah.
to you then for your beer?
So it's got quite a sweetness. I want to almost say it's definitely tropical, but closer to passion fruit than mango. Maybe a sweet citrus underneath and some stone fruit, like a sweet peach.
Mm.
Okay.
Really interesting nose because all of that is like quite tethered together. So
Hmm.
it's just like a unique smell kind of at your nose, and you're like, oh, there's bits of this, that, and the other thing. When usually these things are a bit more spread out. So it's super interesting to those. And you still get a bit of that lovely IPA bitterness coming with those, and that might be what's binding them.
Mm.
You know, the sun was out today,
Was.
It was.
and it was glorious. And after work, went for a beer on the patio.
Nice.
And it was cold, but the sun was out, and it was great. But the place near work that has an actual outdoor sitting area, the best beer you can really get is like a Camden Pale.
Okay.
Because even the cask isn't great there, but it's like right by the river and has a big
Nice.
space, and it's like a 5-minute walk from work. But this is the beer I would have wanted. It's it's a solid IPA. You know, it's tropical, touch of citrus, finishes lovely with a light bittering. It's one of those IPAs that people who say I don't like IPAs would still not mind. But it's like a quintessential IPA. It's you know, this lovely hazy. Again, I don't know what's with my lighting, because again it looks much more sickly yellow on camera versus sort of a richer light orangey yellow. Yeah, the taste lingers, the bitterness doesn't, so you get more of that slightly tropical stone fruit lingering. Leaves the mouth wet, so I don't feel the need to replenish. Like I said, but it does have this underlying bitterness that's throughout from the beginning to the end of the finish. It's only now that I've started talking for longer that I've noticed that it has been at this low level the entire time, but it's only when that like lingering, slightly stone fruity topicalness finally starts to fall away that you even notice it, because it's just this light bitter note, which is why I think people who claim they don't like these types of beers wouldn't mind it, because it's doing such a good job holding the taste together, giving it depth, but it's not obtrusive. And then by the time it's the only thing left, you're kind of like, it's really like it has also started to fade. But also most people don't talk for a minute and a half between sips. If they found it bitter, they could take a little bit of a sip.
Yep.
I mean, yeah, it's a Northern Monk IPA. I like this like slightly sweet stone fruity twist. And again, tropical core. I'm mostly talking about the stone fruit because it's interesting, because it's like, it's the thing when I started looking I found, and it was like, oh, it's there the whole time, but you wouldn't say it's a stone fruit tasting beer, so I should be clear that
right.
I'm saying that because it's a unique note that is doing work but not like obvious.
Okay.
Now that I've had a few sips, it's a bit sweeter on the finish once my palate has gotten used to it. So again, I think that just compounds the. I think if you are like, I kind of like the odd IPA, but don't like the really like in your face ones, this is the type of IPA you would like.
Nice. Good.
Yeah.
Okay.
It also has oats, I think. Yep, and there's that creaminess that comes from the oats that it's much easier to spot, because I think I'm going to reprise my theory from like mid-pandemic, I think it was, and I just think that the oats we've discovered how well oats can do things to the body and creaminess and texture of a beer because they're cheap.
Yeah.
But like now we're having beers which aren't like sort of putting oats in and finding out that it's not that bad. It's a little different, but I can get used to it. To like, oh no, now they're using oats as like part of their design rather than we need to use oats. I mean, not to say that the cost isn't there, but it's like, this feels like that creaminess is so. Again, if I didn't know and wasn't looking for it, I would just like enjoy the beer. I'm not like noticing this like, oh yeah, something different is happening, but maybe also it's because it's been years of having oats in almost every beer now. I don't know if you've been like checking, but because of the veganity, like take a look at allergens almost all the time. It's like, wow, everything has oats. But I think it's a good thing, because it just gives that body, done well, it's just all it's doing is pluses.
Yes, unlike the extra nice, which has rice in instead of oats.
Oh.
No oats in this beer. So the ingredients for this are just water, barley malt, rice, hops, and yeast.
I
So
thought you said like rice in the
I
poison for a
did as
second.
well.
But then, yeah. I just assumed you're
Maybe
still
I
here
did.
and talking.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. What did they say? They said a portion of rice in the grist to soften the palate. So let's see. It's
Interesting.
incredibly translucent.
Oh, wow.
So clear.
What's
Very light straw. Yeah, really light.
Some
Nice
sake
nose,
there.
bit bitter. It's maybe it's only 4%, so not quite towards the sake percentages. It's quite bitter on the nose, actually. It smells like a lager.
Yeah, we need to bring in more rice lagers. That was a thing for a tiny little
It
bit.
was. Yeah.
Like blink and you'll miss it. But need more of that.
This is interesting. It's very light. It's crisp. It's got a little bit of body to it. Maybe that's what the rice is giving it as well. Like oats would give a creaminess. This is giving a bit of body. It's got a slight. It's not viscous and it's not. Kind of coats the tongue a little bit as well, and it's not oily. It's not viscous. It's not hitting that kind of thing. It just feels a bit bigger than it is in terms of its
Yeah.
body. I think it goes back very smoothly, and it's an incredibly light flavor. There's not a huge amount kind of going on in that. A little sweet at the beginning, a little bit sort of bready, I think, sweetness right at the start of this, but it just mellows into a nice bitterness. So there's this lovely piney bitterness on the end of this, and it's much more akin to a big brewer, like a macro brewer kind of lager. It's more in that kind of side of what's going on in the taste. You get that kind of bit of a bit of breadiness, bit of yeasty sort of sweetness at the start of the beer, and then you hit into some kind of level of bitterness sort of thing. It's got that same kind of journey to it, but it's very smooth. It's a lot smooth. That bitterness is not a sharp kind of jarring bitterness that kind of kicks in. It just lovingly rolls into that bitterness, and it's incredibly easy to drink.
Nice.
Bit carbonated, so you get a bit of that kind of push of that sweetness, I think, from that, but it's already dissipated quite quickly. It's still kind of, you see, it's still bubbling away at
It's
the
really
moment.
clear.
So, yeah, incredibly clear. But no, this is nice. It's kind of one where you like, if this was the flavor profile of any alcohol-free lager, I'd be so incredibly happy. If this, with this, and even being at that lighter, that 4%, when you're looking for something that's a little bit kind of easier, maybe it's like, Saturday you're watching the football, it's the middle of the afternoon or it's lunchtime or something. This would be a great beer to just sit with and just not necessarily drink quickly, just nurse. You're doing something else. You're not that invested in going somewhere and kind of tasting the beer and getting into that kind of level of thing. If you're in the middle of doing something else, I think this would be a great beer to sit with. And as it's, you get 2 cans for a £5, mate. So you go and buy yourself a little 4-pack and you're set for an afternoon, really. So
Yeah.
nice. It's very nice.
No, hot day. Well, it was warm today. In the sun, it was warm.
In the
Outside,
sun, absolutely.
less so.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely. Kind of
Yeah.
beer you want in hot summer weather. We're
Very
almost there.
much.
Well, we've just passed spring. I want summer.
We're close, mate. Very, very
Oh
close, aren't
no.
we?
But then it just goes again so fast.
the endless cycle of time.
Oh.
Yeah, what a shame. Cool. Let's move on from our beers and talk about some video games. this week. I've actually got a couple of games to talk about. I've got actually more than a couple. I've got 3 games, one of
What?
which I might leave to next. I know. One of which I think I'll leave till next week. Which just for those who want to tune in next week, I'll talk a bit more about Cities Skylines 2.
Oh.
Which I picked up on sale a few days ago because Paradox are doing like a big sale because Cities Skylines, the original, is 10 years old.
Holy
So
shit.
yeah, I know. I didn't even realize. I didn't realize actually Cities Skylines 2 released back in I think September or October of 2023
I was going to say it's quite.
as well. So it's
Yeah.
been out for about 18 months. And they recently put out a huge patch to rework a bunch of the systems because it wasn't received very well when it came out. But I'm delving into that a little bit, so I'll have some more fully formed thoughts on that next week. But if you'll permit me, I want to start with a nice little roguelike game, which I've been enjoying on the Steam Deck because it
Is
is
it
a
Nubby?
Nubby.
It's
Not
not
Nubby.
Nubby.
Not Nubby.
Okay.
Um,
It's
it's
not Nubby.
it's called Odinfall.
Okay. No.
I mean,
I've not heard of this one.
if you, so I just have to say that if you ask ChatGPT to come up with a handheld roguelike title, it would pick Odinfall
Yeah.
6 times out of 10.
Absolutely. It's got that kind of Norse theme to it. So
I should fucking hope
Odin
so.
is Odin is the kind of the bad guy. It's a bit more. They've taken it in this. I don't know what aesthetic you'd kind of call it. It's not sort of cyberpunk. It's not. It's kind of this like neo futuristic type mechanical-esque sort
Oh.
of future. So Loki is a sort of a floating head coming out of a giant machine, and ties it in. The Bifrost is kind of what takes you on your new run through the world. But the thing I really like is that it's a twin stick shooter, and I love a twin stick shooter, and this does it very very well. It mixes that twin stick shooter and kind of difficulty of a bullet hell game very very well. When you fucked up in this game. You haven't dodged out of the way in time. You haven't used a special ability. You've run out of ammo because you're not concentrating on pickups and those kinds of things. So it's in the kind of 2.5D perspective, almost sort of top down, just at that slight angle. And you can pick a variety of different characters that you unlock kind of through to move through the levels, basically. And it's solid. It's fun. It's fast. It's frantic. The thing I kind of like is it's taken lots of little bits from other games as well. So the overworld, when you're picking the routes you want to move through the kind of set of levels, is straight out of Super Mario. So it's that kind of level select. You don't have to go around and pick you don't have to hit every single world. You're basically choosing a route through a multi-path kind of map, and they've added a bit of extra difficulty in that. I don't know whether I can't remember what it's called, but this kind of frost follows you up, so you're always kind of moving up and slightly across, kind of between the levels. So you might hit node 1, do that level, and then node 2 you could go off to the side and up and hit that one, or up and the opposite direction to hit a different one. You can pick which route you want to go through, but there might be a level adjacent to the one you've just done, and this, because there's this rising frost, if you go into that level, there's like an extra layer of difficulty as well. There's additional enemies, different kinds of enemies, and those kinds of things. So you can sort of almost tailor it to how difficult you want to sort of try and play it, try and hit every single thing, every single level to sort of move through. And as with a roguelike, you're upgrading as you move through each of these runs that you do. There's a variety of different weapon drops that you pick up through the levels to use. I kind of generally pick a double-barreled shotgun, and then some kind of longer range weapon as well, so I can pick people off and then just get into it. There's a bunch of melee weapons as well, which I'm fucking atrocious with, and it's just like, no, just find a shotgun, fine, that's all
Yeah.
I need. And then there's attachments for these guns, and there's lots of variety that you can kind of pick sort of through your run. So you know, as you get with I suppose more recently kind of Vampire Survivors, you kind of know a lot of the time the power ups that you want to pick or the build that you want to run with. And at the moment with Odinfall, apart from say wanting some kind of close range blasting weapon and then some kind of longer range weapon, I'm kind of quite open on what those actually are. You know, there's submachine guns, there's sniper rifles, there's javelins, which are really powerful, go through multiple enemies. There's such a huge amount of weapons in this game, but I don't think I found a build yet that I would run with. I think it's trying not to follow, you know, say like Hades,
Hmm.
in being
Yeah.
like, actually in Hades, I know that my starting weapon's going to be this, and these are kind of the upgrades that I want
Right.
to run through to get towards the end. Odinfall feels of much kind of freer than that, and you know the weapons are quite comparable to each other, so you don't need a specific kind of style or want to play in a specific kind of style. You can be freeform as you kind of move, and you can discard weapons. You know, a new one pops up out of the ground. Fine, pick that one because it's slightly more powerful than the last one. Might work slightly similarly, or might be a completely different weapon, and you have to, you know, change your play style kind of on the fly as you're moving through the levels and stuff. But Kim so far hates it because I'm sat on the Steam Deck going,
Right.
and she's like, "Can you stop?" I'm like, "No, I can't. I'm getting to the end of the level." She's like, "Please stop." I'm like, I've died. Fine, I will." You know, it has that kind of quick reset button as well, so you can just jump straight back in. And it's yeah, I'm really enjoying Odinfall. It's not
nice.
gonna like it's kind of one of the games where it will test you in terms of your kind of Twitch response sort of times. But it's not doing much more than that, and I don't think it needs to
Hmm.
really.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Did you ever play Enter the Gungeon?
yes, I really liked Enter the Gungeon. Yeah,
Looks like that.
Yeah.
it a little bit. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a similar kind of quite colorful kind of palette, but with
Mhm.
sort of the backgrounds and things are quite tonal, and then you've got these brightly kind of colored well, especially like the bullet spray and those kinds of things
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on, and things differentiate themselves very nicely from say the environment and stuff as well. I could do maybe with it the kind of the thing that well, the only thing that annoys me, I could do with it being set out a touch further, so my field of view
Yeah.
is just a bit bigger.
Mhm.
It's not
Mhm.
restrictive really, but some of the bosses are very large, and
Yeah.
as soon as they're off the screen, it's like right there, and I'm like, I have no understanding of distance. As soon as it's off the screen, it could be right at the edge, could be
Yeah.
really far away. So if I'm just hurling bullets, am I wasting them? But then as
Hmm.
soon as it's on the screen, it takes up the whole fucking screen. So like I've got to get out of the way. I've got to keep my distance.
No.
And so there's a little bit of that the perspective, the field of view is a touch for me at least too tight.
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
think. But yeah, it's a solid
Speak.
game.
Yeah. I think the roguelike aspect might have put me off.
Mhm.
Because I didn't gel with Enter the Gungeon too much either. So but yeah, it looks fun. Speaking of Viking themed, you're talking about like this techno futuristic thing.
Hmm.
Um, just reminded me of that game. Had to like search Google for Viking game where you throw spears. Um, and it's called Litz Spear.
Oh
Um,
yes.
yeah, I played this
God, that's
years
going
ago. And
back, isn't it?
yeah, just reminded me of that. I really enjoyed that game. But yeah, that was my quick aside. It was
Nice.
92 no, 79 pence. a few months ago. I'm gonna next time it's on sale, maybe I'll get that on Steam. I think I played it on Switch many years ago, so
Right.
that's a good arcade game.
Yeah, nice, nice. Odinfall, I didn't mention it is in early access. I think it might have had its 1.0 release now.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, because oh yes, it's still in says it's still in early access. Yeah.
right. So yeah, released on the 11th
Mhm.
of March, but yeah, in early access. It does say, does it give a bit of a time frame? We're using these final few months in early access to listen to player feedback, fine tune the game's balancing, and make sure the game feels the best it can for 1.0. So there you go. It's probably mostly there. They'll just refine and tweak and balance as people are kind of playing it, or bug fix and those kinds of things. Maybe for a summer kind of full version coming out, but I don't think it being early access should put people off at all. I think it's it's fully formed in what
Mm.
it's got. I haven't got that far in it, to be fair. You might find that the whole last portion of the game doesn't exist at the moment,
Yeah.
and they've made it so super hard that no one will ever get to that point, so no one will ever know that it doesn't exist. And then 1.0 just dials it down slightly for people to get that far through. But yeah, it is tough, but I think it's fair. So every time I've died, I'm like, yeah,
Right.
absolutely, that was my mistake. I can see why I fucked that up, and the tens of times that I've done runs now with it, and you can tell. I can tell you, I played almost 2 hours on it. So a run through a level, or let's say a run through a node. Each node has sort of like 3 levels to it. So you're in them for like some of them last 30 seconds, some of them might last sort of 90 seconds, some of them
Mm.
might last that little bit longer. If you've got a boss, it's going to be kind of a couple of minutes sort of per, but you're maybe 5 minutes in each node. So yeah, there's a lot of reasonable amount of runs through this sort of in that kind of 2 hour period. And there's a hub area where you start out as well, where you can have a look at the weapons that you've unlocked so far and the enemies that kind of exist in the world and stuff, and talk to Loki a little bit to get some a bit of exposition and talk about why you're doing what you're doing, kind of thing. So it's yeah, it's solid. It's a really solid game.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, yeah.
And fair price, yeah.
Oh, how much is it?
It was it like £7.80? No, that's sorry, 10.99.
$10.99.
Oh, yeah.
That feels about right, I would say, for what you're going to get.
Yeah.
You're going to
cur-
spend a lot of
at-
time in it, I would think.
yeah. At Green Man Gaming, it's currently £7.91.
Is that just for a Steam code?
Oh, I can't remember what Green Man Gaming offers. Can't remember.
No,
Have
fair.
I even? Yeah, I think I've only just redeemed 3 games over there.
God,
Don't
I
think I've
think I
ever
haven't
bought
used
anything
it for
from them.
I was gonna
years.
say I can't remember the last time I used it.
Mm, mm.
Mm.
Um, but I'll jump straight into the next game that I
Mhm.
played as well, because it is in stark contrast to Odinfall, and I've been playing Wanderlust on the old PS5, which is this Davy Reedon tea making game.
Isn't it called Wanderstop?
Oh, it might be. What did I say?
Wanderlust.
Oh, yes, Wanderstop. There you go.
Yeah.
What's Wanderlust? Just a term,
Okay.
I suppose.
Mm.
Is it 2 words? No.
No,
Wanderstop, one
just that
word.
one.
Um,
Mm.
it's great. It's a lovely little chilled game where you are. Yes, you're kind of, and I think where we've talked about this previously, in because it's from Davy Reedon, and sort of with the Stanley Parable and those kinds of
Mm.
things, is there something more kind of to this? And Alta, who is the character that you play, is a fighter. It's kind of, I think the way that they sort of phrase the bit of text in Steam is almost kind of like, you're making tea. Do you want to go back to fighting? What would stop you going back to? And like her journey is understanding why she is taking a break from that, and the kind of little bit of thought and reflection and just having the time to think about why she's almost being made to take a break from sort of the fighting that she's been doing. And it tries to, and I think very, very well, it tries to almost elicit a sense of incompletion from you, and tries to put over the message that it's okay not to finish things. It's okay not to fully get a story. It's okay not to fully get a resolution from things. There's kinds of elements, storylines where a character might ask you for some tea, and you go and you do the whole sort of mechanic of making tea for them. So you heat water, you put various ingredients into the water to make the specific tea that character kind of might want. But after you've done that, that character might disappear. That character might then come back and ask for another cup of tea. There might be a bit of an extended sequence where you've got maybe sort of 2 or 3 touch points with that kind of character. But one in the sort of the early stages of the game, the character just disappeared, and you're quite invested because you'd had about 4 touch points with this character. He'd given you his story. You'd kind of, and there's sort of multiple choice responses to sort of what he's sort of saying and stuff, and kind of playing it to be sort of quite nice and get him to say sort of more about kind of what he's doing and stuff. And it's written well enough that you're like, I'm invested now in this. And then he's just like, no, gone. You'll probably never see that character again.
Wild.
But that's okay. And you're like, is it? I'm not sure it is.
I want closure.
I don't know whether it's okay that character has just gone, and I'll never know what actually happens. But it's trying to push that kind of thing, just in the game itself, and the way that you play the game is trying to push that as well at you. Making tea,
I want
taking
closure.
time. Just and
I'm
I
a
did.
gamer. I want an achievement for completing this person's tea storyline and
So
all their requests.
I've been popping trophies in this game
Yeah.
at such random times that I think even the sort of trophy achievement system is kind of saying to me, don't worry, this is completely arbitrary. Doesn't matter. You haven't done anything. Here's a trophy. Maybe time has passed,
Yeah,
or
that's very
stuff
Stanley
like that.
Parable, isn't
So
it?
absolutely,
Nothing matters.
lots of there's and there's lots of stuff in just the formation of kind of what the game is doing that all backs this idea up. And it's I don't think I've got much longer left with it. I can't say how many hours I've got. It's
Yeah,
probably
'cause I
the
was
last game I
wondering,
played
because
on the PlayStation, so I might be able to say
if
how
it
many
is
hours.
just like a cool little tea making game, that would be nice. Maybe I should look into it.
It's been
Did
on
it come out
my
on
list for a while. It's a Steam game as
what's it
well.
out on?
I think well, I'm playing on PS5. It's on Steam. I think it's on Xbox. I don't know if it's on Switch.
Right,
But
okay.
it's on Steam for just under 20 quid, 19.49.
Okay. Might have a look at the Xbox version because I got money there.
Yeah, it's.
Um,
I'm trying to remember the game. That I can't remember whether both of you played it or
really?
just you, Lucy, which was that kind of it's like a potion making game, or like
Oh,
an
yes.
alchemy kind of style
Loose
uh
Planet, yeah. I'm pretty
thing,
sure.
where it was
Potion craft
Yeah, where it's kind of focused on the, that game's focused on the sort of the creation of potions and the complicated sort of nature of how that kind of get. And Wanderstop doesn't ever kind of reach those levels, or at least so far
Yeah.
has not reached those levels. There is a layering to sort of the tea making process, and you wouldn't call it farming or gardening. That's what they call it in this, where you're growing plants, and growing some plants from seeds to create fruit. You're picking tea leaves. There's a few kind of housekeeping elements in this game as well. Brushing up piles of leaves, and you might find a new mug or something that you can, serve your tea in.
Sounds
So,
very cozy.
I mean, it is. It is. I think
Mm.
it is, but it doesn't really want to lean into that. I think it's trying to sort of be like, yes, this is a relaxing time, but there is an underlying message here, which we're going to bake into everything that we're doing within this game. This is really the kind of
There's a fruit. Have you discovered the Azzy fruit yet?
Oh, yes.
Okay. I just saw something pop up and was like, is that Azzy fruit or
I'm trying to think of what
Azzy?
ones I have. Bitberry, I think, something Snork. There's lots of there's
Those are
a
good names.
quite a lot of variety. I think that so far I've uncovered 4 different kinds of seed. And basically you place a seed, or place the same color seed 3 in a row, and that will make a plant, which will then give you more of that color seed. So you can kind of then grow. If you then place that color seed and then put 3, so it's in a hexagonal kind of grid. If you put 3 in its sort of hex points around it, that will then grow a plant which gives you fruit. If you surround the first seed or the first plant with different colored seeds, that will give you a different plant. So there's those combinations as well. There's mushrooms that you can put around it that change the color of the fruits. So you get some requests where a character is like, I want this tea, but I want it to be a different color. So you have to then use the sort of the mushrooms that you find in the clearing and stuff. So it does get layered, but it's never felt overly complicated. Even though, again, the tea machine itself is a kind of a complicated element to have to be like, cool, I've poured the water, I've heated the water, I've added the ingredients, I've opened the valve, I'm now pouring the tea. And the character comments on this at the beginning of the game, like this is overly complicated for making tea. And the sort of the Borrow, who is the character who kind of resides there, is like, it's just fun though, isn't it? Like, don't worry about it. It's just fun. It's cool. It looks good.
Yeah.
Looks fun.
Yeah.
You're like, all right, fine, cool. Like, good explanation. All right, sure. There's not like an overly complicated. The science behind this allows the tea to percolate in these kinds of. No, it's just fun.
Yeah.
All right, good.
It's like a
So
massive bong. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it does look like a bong when you're pouring the water in first and you're heating it. It absolutely is just a giant bong. Yeah. There's a kind of a, I suppose, storyline as well, where some characters have turned up, and they don't want tea, they want coffee.
Bastards.
And you're like, we don't serve coffee. They're like, no, only coffee will do, and they're just all milling around waiting for you to serve them coffee. And it's just like, for fuck's sake, okay, like, how do I get past this element? Yeah, and it's all kind of tied together by Alta. Trying to get back to, she wants to get back to being a fighter. So again, part of that kind of the text that we were sort of talking about a month or so ago. She wants to get back to being a fighter and is constantly sort of pushing to be like, am I ready? Can I go yet? And there's lots of interstitial kind of elements to sort of where she goes back into the forest to sort of to leave or to uncover something, and is very much sort of she gets tired, she can't progress any further, and then she ends up back at Wanderstop,
Basically, Stardew
I
Valley.
was gonna say so.
Like, oh, I've picked one carrot. Let me just collapse now into a puddle, and
I mean,
that's
it's
why I
all of
didn't
those
play that
games,
game.
right? The same thing happens in
No, Stardew Valley was particularly annoying. Obviously in the later game, maybe you
you have like
sort that out, but I was just like, this is ridiculous.
yeah. I remember
Um,
finding out you could go like down into the mines and fight, and it was like this is a totally different game
Yes.
mechanic, neat. And then it's just like I'm passing out all the time. This is dumb.
yeah, yeah. It's like, God, like I don't need a character that either gets over incumbent or is like narcoleptic. It's like, no, just let me play the game for as long as if I want to. I get like day night cycle. It's like, yes, time is
Mhm.
passing and stuff like that, but there's a better way to do it than I just collapse in a field and just end up back home and like I've got none of my seeds on my body or whatever because
Yep.
I was, yeah, no.
Robbed by goblins. How long to beat suggests this game is about 11 and a half hours long.
That's a nice
Um,
time.
it is, and I played 6, so I'm
Nice.
only about halfway through.
Got more tea to make. Can't make that
Tons more
coffee.
tea. Jeez,
Wait
where are we
until,
going?
yeah,
I
wait until
know
they
where are
start
we
asking
going
for
with a lot of
boba
this.
tea and everything. Yeah.
I mean, that's going to be
Mm,
it. Does it evolve that the tea machine itself adds additional kind of
mm.
elements? I can't see that happening because they
Right.
haven't thrown anything at me yet. Halfway through the game, and the process of making tea hasn't
Mhm,
really changed. The gardening element has expanded slightly, and you're getting that layering of how you can get different fruits and different flavors
mhm.
and that sort of stuff, but nothing major so far, apart from the the ask and introduction of wanting coffee,
Yeah.
basically. So I don't see that going much further. Getting probably back to tea a little bit, but yeah, it's a great game to play with the kids around
Mm,
as well
Mm.
because there's nothing
yeah.
scary, there's no violence.
No.
It is just wandering around, tending to the landscape, tea, listening to their stories, those kind of things. So, yeah, great little game to play with the kids around.
Yeah, I like the art style. It's very relaxing looking.
Mhm.
I mean, it's nice to see like a gardening cozy management game sim that isn't just like just 2D like kind of top down. This seems like it's got a lot more going on
Yeah,
just visually. So that's cool. Um,
absolutely. And it changes color palette quite nicely
mm,
as well on occasion. So I know on the sort of the images, it's got this nice kind of bluey purpley kind
yeah,
of palette to the foliage. But that changes a little bit as you sort of move through the story and stuff as well. So it doesn't kind
nice.
of just stay like that through
Mm,
it. And it kind of, tonally kind of palette swaps quite nicely.
mm-hmm,
Um,
mm-hmm.
Talking of kids, my child has decided she's going to get up. I see Adil has left the room, so maybe we'll take a break for 30 seconds. I shall
Indeedy.
deal with the child, and Adil will be
Yeah,
back in a moment.
I'll vamp.
Cool,
I'll just
perfect,
talk to myself.
nice.
I'll talk about nubbies. I'm gonna introduce them to nubbies. I don't know what's gonna hit them when they come back. Uh, if anyone wants to get ahead, it's Nubby's Number Factory, which is on Steam. Which it's crazy how Peggle is probably the best game in the world, and we just don't get any more of them. I mean, do PopCap even exist anymore? Can't remember. Maybe they were just absorbed into some bigger company like King or something. But yeah, I love Peggle. And they only made a few of them, but for some reason there was just a massive gap in my memory that there was a Peggle Valve game. It's Peggle Extreme. where it was just like Valve branded products that were like the backdrops to the boards, like Team Fortress and Portal. I saw it on Games Done Quick. There was a speedrun of Peggle Extreme, and I was like, I don't recall ever seeing this game. And then it's like free to play on Steam, and so I was like, I need to play that. Hello, Aadil, just vamping here on my own,
I didn't
talking
realize
about
we both
Peggle.
bounced.
Yes, yeah, it was actually pretty good timing, to be fair, because as soon as you stood up, the baby started crying.
Oh, I see.
It was like, oh, good timing.
Let me just write that down. So,
And look, you're both back at the same time. What you don't want to you want to cut around my vamping?
no, I just meant I would cut the part where I started talking and interrupted you
No,
vamping and revealed that you were
no,
vamping.
no. I mean, you'll find out. I've given the audience a little taster. Maybe I'll talk about it this week. Maybe I'll talk about it next week.
Ooh.
You'll nubbies.
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 What's this nubbies? What's going on?
I'll just tell you now.
Go on, yeah, it's gone.
It's called Nubby's Number Factory, and it is like if the early 2000s internet had Peggle. That wasn't Peggle. Um, yeah, it's very large flashing Comic Sans
Oh
text
God.
kind of early internet kind
Yep.
of.
I hate it. I hate it so much.
It's
what
good
platform is
though.
this?
It's on
Steam.
Steam. I think there must still be a demo because I only like downloaded it. Yeah, there's still a demo. It's sort of like Freeze, like that mobile game, like
Mm-hmm.
mixed with Peggle, and it's like a roguelike, and
Oh
it's got
wow.
like Hypnospace Outlaw kind of a thing to it. But yeah, it's basically you have so many balls, and you need to hit a certain amount of pegs. Um, and every time you hit a peg, like the number goes up like by factor of 2, so 2, 4, 8, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
or
16, 32,
well
64,
squared.
128,
Yeah,
etc.
exactly, etc., etc. And it's yeah, it's basically you get so many balls and you have to get to a certain score
Right.
each round. And then yeah, in between rounds, like every now and then you can upgrade things. So it's like, oh, this upgrade makes it makes like explosions every now and then, every like couple of seconds and stuff like that. So it's all, in the end, it's just like kind of like Balatro madness where the
Right.
screen is just going crazy. But yeah, that's Nubbies.
So like when it's going well, it's just like a dopamine mill.
Yes, and
I
it's
think
got
that might
early
need to be a new
2000s aesthetic.
category of games.
A dopamine mill.
Yeah.
And things are going well, yeah. Yeah. But even when it's like, oh dear, it's gone bad and I start a new run, it's just like, yeah, just give me that sweet dopamine.
Yeah, well that's why it's
More.
it's a dopamine mill because it's
Mhm.
this like same thing with Blatcher, right? You can just jump right back in. Right? That's I think
Mhm.
part of the charm that Vampire Survivors captured was like you still had to be strategic, but like it was just this its base like you didn't have to do as much as what games that look like it, and its base rate dopamine was pretty high.
Just like the sound of popcorn in that game, like just the enemies just pop, just like
Yeah,
great sound design. This has very good sound design. It's like yeah, and just look at it. I know
It,
it
Ben,
does
you
look
said that
good.
you don't like it.
It looks exactly like you described in a way that I didn't realize until I saw it.
It reminds me of a program, a kids program called Numberjacks, which obviously I've seen when Evelyn was a kid. But it was Numberjacks was made nearly 20 years ago, back in 2006. So it's got that kind of level of, especially the thumbnail to it instantly screams sort of mid 2000s kind of image, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And I've seen this fella, the little guy that's on the side of the machine. I've seen him a lot today for some reason on various articles and things. So
Oh, have you? All right. So
yeah,
Nubby's getting around. Nubby's
yes.
he's doing the rounds. That's good. Yeah.
Is that Nubby? Is it?
Overwhelmingly positive. I don't know. I literally played the demo. I probably have no time on like actual like Steam because I played the demo and I just played that for like a while. And I was like, I'm gonna buy this game, but I just gonna keep playing the demo for now. Um, yeah, Nubbies. Game title of the year as well.
Nubbies. It is good. You can
Nubbies.
buy it, and I don't know, a different developer publisher, but you can buy it in a bundle with a game called Luck Be a Landlord. I wondered if that was going to be some kind of satirical takedown of renting, but that looks like not a match 3 game, but like again, roguelike deck builder,
Yeah,
but
I
a
can't.
slot machine type game. But it's a different developer, at least listed on Steam. Whether it's the
Yeah,
same
and
person or
that's
not, I don't know.
been
But
knocking about. I thought, did I have that on like phones or I can't
maybe
remember.
that's a 2023
Yes, it's
game. It's like
yeah.
early 2023.
I have it on the App Store because I have
Right.
played that game. Yeah, because I saw that I don't have it on Steam. It's like yeah, I have it on iOS. That's why.
Mm.
Hmm. It's
Nice.
still available on there. Who knows? Who
So
knows?
Nubbies by Mog Dog Blog
Yeah, I was waiting for.
Oh
Productions.
yes, yes. Please, if you do anything else, please go to their website.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
I mean, if anything doesn't sell you on Nubbies, I think it's what is it
Mog
moddogblog.com.
Dog Blog. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna have to do that right now.
Yeah.
I do enjoy that you've landed at dogblog.com, the official website for Mog Dog Blog Productions, aka the least professional game studio website on the internet. Oh no.
Nubbies. Yes.
It's my youth in a website.
Yes. Yes. This is why
Oh God, yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
You said 2000s. This is like early 2000s, late 90s.
Early
Yeah.
2000s, late 90s,
Yeah, this is
yeah.
like
Like
98
literally
to
on the
oh
cusp.
02, maybe 3.
This is
Wait,
like Y2K, dead on,
yeah.
yeah,
I
kind
mean,
of thing. Yeah.
it. This is GeoCities, motherfucker, right? Like,
Yeah. I mean, it's just wonderful. It makes me feel fuzzy inside. Yeah. It's just great.
that
It's
might just be
great.
the resolution of the site.
I mean, just look
Oh,
at it.
they have made a previous
Great.
game. Dysphoric soy milk lidocaine, which you can get on itch.
Right, but it's
Okay.
not actually released? Question mark.
Similar art style. More information. Oh, I can actually. Yeah, it doesn't look like I can buy
Oh,
it.
yeah. Release date 2025
It
question mark?
seems like they might have like
Ooh.
pulled it or something.
Maybe it says, yeah. So this says published in April of 2023. Status in development. So
Yeah.
maybe they had a version that went up and then it's come back down. But
So
Whatever.
on the
I'll
website,
do
they
it,
say
but it
they've
looks
been working
good.
on it since November 2022. They are hoping 2025 for the release date. In DSL, you play the role of a therapist in the year 2050. You're tasked with curing an artificially intelligent man's existential depression. This is accomplished by diving into the depths of his robot brain and manipulating his memories.
This
It's
is
very surreal,
basically,
etc., etc.
I have no mouth, therefore I must scream, which is coming to consoles, I think. Because there was a PC version of that. This looks like that, but like actually not as serious.
Mm.
And there's an inventory. It looks like a point and click adventure game. I'm sold. Add to collection. Itch. Right,
Good.
follow them. Yeah, even
No,
more.
that's
Yeah,
great.
so that's Nubbies.
Oh, this is super
Um,
interesting. Sorry, I know. So a year ago, he on itch, the presumably Mr. Miss or Mix Mogdog Blog Productions posted what's going on with dysphoric soy milk lidocaine is going to be a little bit different because rather than reviewing some things I've been working on, I want to address what's going on with the state of the game. My problem is that I don't know what dysphoric soy milk lidocaine is supposed to be. When I started this project back in November 2022, I wanted to create an old web simulator akin to Hypnospace Outlaw. A couple of months in, my game developed a story, and its gameplay completely changed from a series of minigames to an RPG, etc., etc. It wasn't until I allowed a select group of people to playtest the early pre-demo version of my game that I realized something. Nobody understands what the game even is. Heck, I don't even know what it is anymore. I love this game, though. I love making games, and I love that I have a small community of people that are excited to play it. My option is that point were to keep on continuing the pattern of adding and removing the same features over and over again, or scrap the game completely and give up. I don't want to do this. I want to keep pursuing my dream. So it sounds like he shifted focus, hoping to come back and figure out what it is. Hence the a hopeful 2025 release, because there's a game that people at one point clearly tested. But I just love I don't know what it is anymore. It's run away from me, and no one knew how to do a thing.
yeah, I love stupid stuff like this. At least we have Nubbies in the
In the interim,
Exactly.
meantime.
Yes.
I could just stare at this website all day. I might just make it my
the default.
screensaver. Yeah,
Your home.
my desktop background. Yeah.
Remember when picking your home page of your browser became a thing that really mattered, and when you switched it was like can you imagine picking one website that you wanted to see all of the time? No, give me the 7 shortcuts that fucking Firefox gives me.
Yes. Absolutely.
And specifically not something on the web that's going to be tracking me immediately.
Unlike Nubbies, which may be. It probably is. Good. Is there anything else you want to chat about this week, Lucy?
No, just Nubbies. Just
Good.
Nubbies.
Good. Perfect. Aadil, is there anything you wanted to touch on this week at all?
Magic.
Nope.
No magic?
Nah,
no
not
magic
really.
news?
Nah, I mean, there's
No
always
Final
magic news.
Fantasy magic news?
I don't have I'll rant about that when it's June and I'm contemplating actually paying the exorbitant prices. No, I'm hoping. So term's over. I'm done teaching until September, October, until
Really?
October.
Oh my gosh, it's March.
I mean,
Wow.
yeah, I mean, I still have, I have marking and things, and but I don't have to
Teaching
give
is
any
done.
teaching.
That's insane.
In Easter term, I still have supervision, so it's just like me at the front of the room telling kids things about philosophy is ostensibly over. So I'm hoping I can actually turn on that Steam Deck. Also, I finally, I don't think did I tell you guys this last week? I lodged a formal complaint with the window and door company, and lo and behold, now they're actually moving. So I might now, but in the meantime, presumably because it was taking so long, the flooring company, which I decided to go to because they had a good quote and I liked the guy, are taking forever to come back to me or just have stopped responding. And the whole point of like, I can't get the new floors in until the window people are in, because I think that's just dumb, because they'll probably fuck up the brand new floors. I have the option. Now I've got a booking for the windows, and the flooring guy's not getting back to me. And it's like, I need to order the floor from the bamboo flooring company so that I can get you, so that you can install it. Please, for the love of God, respond. I want to have you in as soon as possible.
Home improvements
ownership.
and stuff.
Yeah.
Especially because once the floors are in, I can move in and do the rest of the stuff in house,
Yep,
like literally in
sure.
house. So mild frustrations, but that also means that I have more freedom. So I'm hoping to start taking pictures again, actually hassle people to get me on the stage and play video games. You know, my hobbies.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. That's what I was hoping to get back to, but I start a new job on Monday, so wow. Oh well. Right, I
Adulting.
just want to play video games,
Bullshit,
man. Like,
Yeah, absolutely.
just let me do that.
Would be good.
Oh,
Well,
oh,
we can.
just a quick note, because I completely missed it. The Rise of the Golden Idol. The first DLC pack dropped
Oh,
like a few weeks ago. So yeah, I played that. Was it yesterday?
how is it?
It's good.
I still haven't
The
played
whole game's
the
good.
core game yet, so
Yeah,
I might
yeah,
just pick up the
yeah,
DLC and do it all. Which is what I did with the last one.
yeah,
I bought all the DLC and the
yeah.
game. When I bought the game, played through it, and then immediately bought the DLC and played through it.
Yeah, and I like how, I mean, the first game got like weird with stuff, but like the second game gets weird with stuff, and like in the DLC, they're pushing that weirdness even more. It's just
Good.
like it's like they have carte blanche to do whatever they want, and it
Mm.
works. And it's just
Have they kept the
I
time
love that game.
period?
Well,
Yes, it's still set in like the what was it, like the 70s or something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, but it's like they use ways of like it's all about like the occult and stuff like
Mhm.
that, and this way they can play fast and loose with it, and even more so in like the DLC. And it's like, okay, okay, it's
Nice.
just good game, man. Like, give me more. Like Obra is just like one of the best like detective games. But imagine
Mhm.
if that had like the kind of tale that like these games have, like that
oh,
continued like DLC support. It'd just be so
yeah.
good. Um, yes, very happy. Just
What did
sat down
the
for the afternoon and just played it through practically all in one.
nice? What did the first game get? 2 DLCs?
Yes. I think two.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think you're
Yeah.
right there.
Are they given like a roadmap for the second one at all? They
Mhm,
sort of said, we're
mhm.
getting 2 or 3.
I think it was 4.
Oh,
I think it
wow.
was 4
Oh wow, I didn't
drop
realize it was four.
DLC. 2 in quarter 2 this year. 1 in quarter 3, 1 in quarter 4. I think. Don't
Right.
quote me on that.
Hmm.
But yeah, I think because you can get a DLC pass, which is the quickest money I've ever spent. Um, let's have a look. Store page or DLC. They have a DLC page. When Steam wants to load, okay. Yes, the Detective Pass. Steam's loading very slowly for me.
Yeah, it's for me as
Apologies.
well, interestingly.
Hmm.
Seem having a bit of a
Having a bit of a mare.
slow moment.
Let's have a look. Yeah, DLC 2, Core Q2 2025. Yeah, there's 4.
Right.
Yeah, sorry, DLC 3 and 4 are both dropping in quarter 3 this year.
Banging those out then.
Yeah. Yeah,
Nice.
it's just like no game is easy to make, but it's like
Mm.
this is just so straightforward. Like, I mean, the art's great, like the stories and the intricacies, and like um, it there is probably a lot of hidden depth and a lot of thought going into that. But
Mhm.
it's like it's not like you're creating, I don't know, Elden Ring, Night Rain, or something like that. It's like
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
or Shadow the Erd Tree. It's like these, you know. They should just drop them forever. That's what I'm basically saying. Never, just don't stop. You've got Netflix money now as well, so like, just keep making them till the rest for the
Oh
rest
yeah,
of
they
time.
do, don't they?
Hmm.
That's where I was going to play it, wasn't
Hmm.
it? Netflix, and I didn't
Hmm.
get to it. Yeah, yeah,
And the art is
yeah.
just getting better and better each drop. It's like they just seem to like continually one up themselves and just push it further, and it's like it's so fun to see.
Yeah, I've gone
Mm.
back to it because I remember that this is at least the case of the Golden Idol
Mm.
had one of the best screenshots in its sort of Steam page. It was not for Case of the Golden, it's actually for the Spider of Lanka, where it's
Mm.
just a guy with an axe in his head, and it just says, "The man is not breathing."
Oh,
Oh, yes,
yeah.
brilliant. Yeah, good.
I mean that is the writing is. I really like the that they thread the needle really well for. It feels old timey, and this weird matter of factness, especially fit of the like the prose being clear,
Hmm.
slight like and like appropriately like the dated, but like that clearness remains as things get weird, and it just it
Hmm.
hits so well because of that. And it's like, oh, in the first few levels, you're like, I'm playing an adventure game, and then it's only like when you look back, you're like, oh, right, they set me up because actually by being kind of flat in the writing from the get and staying that way, it hits better narratively, and also you can make some really dumb jokes that are
Hmm.
great.
Yes, yes. There's some great humor, underlying humor in those games. Um, yeah, with like some of the just grotesque art style.
Yeah.
It just works so well. You know.
Good, nice, nice. Let's finish there
Mhm.
then on a very, very positive set of games this week, and come back round to what started out as very positive beers as well. Lucy, you kicked us off, so we'll come back
Yeah,
to you first.
yeah. Still just still nursing the last bit of it. Yeah, it's one of those where it wasn't like craving more flavor or more taste. Like, it was just happy to let it just sit and just nurse on it for the entire what have we been doing, like hour and a half or something.
Hmm.
It's yeah, a really flavoursome beer, and as I say, the body is often where these alcohol-free beers lack. So for this to have that, it's just yeah, that and that creamy texture from the oats. It's just it makes the world of difference.
Yeah.
As I say, like doesn't really have much bitterness, not really any carbonation to speak of, I don't think.
Mm.
Hmm.
Even when I first cracked the can. But that being said, it's like okay, I can forgive it with the style because it's a NEIPA. It's meant to be more fruit forward, and
Yeah.
yeah, it just works really well. And yeah, it's the best alcohol-free beer that I've smelt. I mean, it rivals most normal beers just in terms of the aroma. Um, and yet it didn't disappoint. It's like yes, I am still getting those, you know, a lot of those fruity flavors from what was it, the Citra, Idaho 7, Motueka, and Mosaic. So it's like four, you know, quite robust and very noticeable hops in it. And yeah, you could tell
Mm.
in
Nice.
the flavor profile. Yeah, really good flowers without the vowels from Beak.
Right.
Perfect. Perfect.
Mm.
Adil, we'll come to you.
Yeah, it's good. It stayed good. I think in the middle, the sweetness started to feel a bit too much, but once I got sort of past somewhere between the like half and a third left, that stopped being the case, and actually the very end, I've been nursing it because my palate has clearly gotten used to the sweet, and the bitter notes are just as subtle, so they're not stronger, but they're more noticeable. And so I realized that, I really like the way this is finishing right now. I kind of am taking tiny sips to get a longer finish. And again, if you don't like, it's the last third, so if you have a similar taste curve and don't like it feeling more bitter, I mean, you would probably just drink it quicker and be fine. I'm just sort of nursing it because I want to, like, I like how long the finish is. I like the lingering taste, and I'm happy to take small sips and have that for longer. So kind of what I was saying before, which is it feels like a quintessential IPA, but it has these really like nuanced bits that you can take or leave in a good way.
Good. Solid. And I think this rolls into the Lost and Grounded. This is very solid as well. The flavor dulled down very slightly, and just I suppose my palate just got used to that kind of taste, as it does with kind of lagers. They're kind of one of the beers that you find the flavor sort of levels out quite quickly with a lot of them, and that very much happened with this. The bitterness pulled back that little bit. The kind of more bready sort of flavor dulled slightly, but I didn't last long at all. So I think with the rate of consumption versus the sort of the degradation of flavor, generally gonna hit that. You're gonna be drinking this pretty quickly. You might not even reach that point where your palate kind of levels up. Maybe if I was to crack another one, it would be fresh again. It would hit me with that kind of the nice crisp sort of flavor that you get at the start for a little bit longer. But yeah, solid beer from Lost and Grounded, and just sits nicely alongside their other beers as well. So
yeah,
good. That's us for this week. You can go to outoflives.net to look at our faces and see the beers that we have been drinking, or join us on the Out of Lives Twitch stream each and every week when we record the podcast. You can listen to us on your podcast service of choice as well, and just search Tank Tap wherever you want. The best way to get hold of us is dropping any of us a message in the comments on Out of Lives or on our YouTube page. But if you want to follow us on the socials, I am on Blue Sky at Nova47. Aadil is
at the Omniarch.
And Lucy, where do you reside? Have you changed where you reside yet? Are you still over on that hellscape of
Hell
the
site, yeah. Yeah, I need to actually log into Blue Sky and check it out, what's going on over there. So that's Juicy Loose 9 there, and most other places. Yeah, I need to see what the
crack
calmer
is.
blue oceans of blue skies. What was that?
I said what the crack is.
Yeah, what the crack-a-lack is. I just think I've peaked from my social media. If I was to go anywhere, it's Reddit. Just troll through Reddit looking at unhinged things. That's where I'm at these days.
Nice. Blue Sky does seem. I don't know. Blue Sky seems a bit of a reactionary Twitter space. Almost the posts I sort of a few posts I see are like, this is going on over on Twitter. It's like, so.
Oh, I don't actually get a lot of that anymore.
Okay.
But I will say, I think Blue Sky is a different thing for me. So my Twitter was always all the things, and the ADHD and the multiple hobbies like photography, craft beer, video games, philosophy, Magic the Gathering, you name it. I was following whatever kind of struck my fancy. And with Blue Sky, I was like, I'm at least gonna, if I entertain this, I'm gonna like, it's because I know people who are academics who have really thrived from their like Twitter connections and stuff. I'm like, I never tried that. Maybe I'll go to Blue Sky and I'll just sort of I won't auto follow everything. I'm just gonna see. I'll like follow my professional connections and see what happens. But part of the big Blue Sky exodus after I joined and was very dormant for a couple months was I was added to a couple because Blue Sky has these lists.
Yes.
So because I dabble in multiple areas of philosophy, I was added to lists, and so when people finally got fed up with Twitter, these lists were being pushed out, and so I was just getting like slam followed because I was on one of these lists, and so I was like, oh, I'll quickly sift through these things, and I was just like, I can't handle this. There's just never on social media have I ever had the problem of I can't handle all the notifications, then going through should I follow this person back. But now because of that, my Blue Sky is like people who are interested in the same kind of shit as me, and some political people who I've followed because they've been retweeted, etc. So it's a neat place, and I find myself like, maybe I'll look at Blue Sky, which I haven't done that for any social media. Like I like auto open Instagram or Facebook out of like years of habit versus I need a break. Oh, maybe I'll just quickly look because there's probably going to be something interesting. I can't remember last time I thought there'd be something interesting on Facebook or Instagram, and it's like, and it's true. Like I have like my Firefox on my phone is at the infinite sign because I keep opening articles that I mean to read, because I'm finding things that sound interesting, and I kind of want I'm like loath to follow other things. I'm sure if I need to find the right balance of like following interesting people in video games because I want the same type of experience in all the stuff, but I don't want what you're getting, which is like people who are just want on a different site bitching about a different site. Like, well, that sounds awful.
Yeah. I because my only issue is that I've followed a lot of game developers on Twitter, and it's like I can't be asked to do that again. And I know a lot haven't made the full move over. Even if they are just like uh posting on the same thing on multiple sites. But I mean, Twitter, I do not open unless unless I see something like say on a news article and see the developer has posted there and it's like, oh yeah, their game's coming out, let me retweet that, or I'm retweeting my crossword videos because as soon as I'm on there, I'm like, I know what trap it is. I know what absolute trap it makes me want to. Nowhere else is it more clear that Twitter wants to make you depressed. And so it's like I close out of that site immediately. Um, Sometimes it's like, oh, if there's a video that looks slightly funny and not just, I don't know, Trump shouting at something, I'll look at it. But yeah, and then after that, it's like, just close it, just close the hell site. And yeah, Threads, because it was always like, oh, this thing is on Threads, download it, and eventually I gave in and I downloaded Threads, and it's like, holy Christ, this is just as bad. This is just like people
really?
with, but it's like even worse, where it's like it is just like, here is bait. This is the bait. They're not even playing anymore with like weirdly and stupidly political, just like one-lined takes with no nuance, just to get people, you know, just rabid. I mean, at least Twitter, they'll maybe put some context to a video or something like that. Or even though if it's still a really bad opinion, at least they'll try and explain it in however many characters you get over there. Instagram is just like, oh, disability benefits are dumb. It's just or something like that, and it's just like, okay, uh, let me get rid of this. The only reason
So
I
odd.
downloaded it is because when you accidentally click on like a Threads thing and it's like open in App Store, I was like, let me just download it so it'll open in Threads and I'll just close it immediately again. Rather than to the App Store. Terrible.
Nice,
Yeah.
good. Well, there you go, listener. They're the places we are and the issues that we
Yeah.
have with them. You can hit us up at those places if you want to talk, or see what we're up to in any kind of
Come to our
way.
Discord. Yeah, that's
or
not
come to
a
Discord and chat to us.
hellscape. Yeah, it's social medias can be nice. Or just come to Reddit, man. Everyone's unhinged there. Nobody cares.
Yeah,
I
Reddit's
use
its own
Reddit
kind of
now
beast,
more
isn't
than
it?
I ever have as well.
Same. I don't know what's wrong with us. We just needed that.
Do you know?
That
You know what it is?
in our life.
It's the enshittification of the internet. Google search results are garbage unless you type in blah 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 Reddit, and then you get a Reddit post and
Yes.
someone's actually fucking answering your question, and then I'm like, well, what else is on this? Oh, this is actually a useful subreddit. Oh no.
Yes. Yes. And
Spend the
then
morning there.
Yeah, and the thing is, Reddit hasn't
Literally.
gotten less unhinged. The rest of the internet has just gotten so shitty that now it's better to go to the unhinged place that you've always looked down upon.
Hey, I've never. I've
Yeah.
always been a Reddit hag. I like Reddit. It's like literally. I think I posted something about Yeah, if you don't want your AI being taken by eBay,
Oh yes.
turn it off. And where did I find that? Someone was just like, "Here's a direct link," and they posted it to Reddit, and I was like, "Thank you." Reddit is we're sickos over there, but we're efficient. We have good
Absolutely.
information.
If you need an answer, Reddit has got it.
Reddit, yeah. Don't go to
Yes.
Quora or whatever it is.
Speaking of hellscapes.
I think either there or Mumsnet. When you know that you've just
Oh,
lost the plot and are
yeah.
unhinged.
Quora's like this, like elder millennial to young boomer. I know better than you because I've been on this on the planet longer.
Yeah.
But none of the questions are fun enough for that to be an interesting take.
And
At
then you
least
get some
Reddit is
poor,
like unhinged people saying weird shit, and then
Yeah.
sure. Then I want to know what a young boomer's take on like.
Yeah.
I was really angry. Like, am I the asshole? I ignored my wife for years, and then she finally told me that she was done, and I slapped her. And it's like,
Yeah, literally. And they're like, well, is that all you have to deal with or something like that? These, as you say, these these young boomers like saying, oh, I sort of, and then you get the poor person who's genuinely looking for help, who's young, and they were like, well, you have to have a diet of like, I don't know, just all carnivore, never even look at a fruit or a vegetable. Like that's how I did it back in the
I just
70s, and
just inhaled red meat continuously. Oh, good. Yeah. Okay. Fine.
I was just like, yeah. You see,
Nice.
I'm gonna go back to Nubby's Nubby's website and stare at that. That's when early social media was great.
Perfect. Everyone can go and enjoy Nubby's website now, and we will catch you very, very soon. Thanks for joining us. We've been Tanked Up. Goodbye.
Bye.
ciao.
www.outoflives.net